Hey, let's talk about how you can use marketing to pack webinars. So this is incredibly important. So oftentimes when you're moving a little bit faster, when you start getting, your accounting firm or your bookkeeping practice off the ground, you start, maybe wanting to move faster. So you don't want to have to go and talk to a million different people. Instead, one of the best ways that I like to implement in order to attract clients to my accounting firm is I use webinars. Basically some kind of pre-educational content that shows people exactly how I can help them and exactly what benefits they're going to gain as a result of working with me. It basically sells them on why they should work with me so that by the time we actually get on the phone, it's more like I'm interviewing them to see if I actually want to work with them. Now, a lot of people are either trying webinars or have tried webinars in the past and they couldn't get people to show up. So today's video is just going to be talking about how you can use marketing. So number one, very important, you have to have content that directs people to the webinars. Don't just try and send people a link to your webinar because it's not really going to make any sense or it's going to come across as salesy. Instead, use it more as a prompt at the end of some sort of value-based content. So now our job is how do we get those pieces of content in front of the right people? So number one, you can manually send it out. So remember, before we couldn't just send the link to our webinar straight to someone's inbox because they're going to think that we're just spamming them. Instead, if you have some kind of conversation or relationship built up with them already, and you say, hey, I made this piece of content which I really think can help you because in the past you said XYZ, that last part, because you said XYZ is very important. Do not neglect that. Check it out when you get a chance. And they're going to look at it. You keep doing that maybe once a week or once every other week, and pretty soon they're going to start coming to that video or that blog post. You're going to start to get more views, and they're going to make it all the way to the end. And now, since it's at the end, it's a content, it's like a prompt, and it's a call to action. They would say, okay, so this article just gave me so much value and just taught me stuff that I never even heard of before. So this training is at the bottom is probably going to be even more knowledge and value. And then they're actually going to go and register for the webinar, actually show up to the webinar. But if you just come at them and say, hey, I have a webinar going on, check it out if you want to, it's not going to have the same effect. You've got to have that value stack in order to really gain that trust, right? Because the reason why people are either ignoring your webinars or not showing up or you can't fill them is because they don't trust you. They don't actually trust that you want to teach them something or that you want to help them out. The market generally in the past has, whenever they've had a webinar, has been just a place where they just try and sell them on XYZ. So if you can kind of switch that to where every time they see you or they see some of your content, it helps them out, it's going to cause them to continuously think of your next piece of content or your webinar also as something that's going to help them out too. And that can be the difference between you maybe, getting 100 people to see the webinar on your first try or 2 people seeing the webinar your first time. And it can also be the difference between them seeing the webinar and actually book an appointment to work with you. Now, if you've been struggling, and you don't really know how to attract clients, like you might not even have a webinar yet, I created a free community where I show you step by step how to start attracting clients that pay you well for your help, that, are actually fun to get along with, and don't cause you a lot of stress. They're not going to call you at 3 a.m. in the morning. If you want to learn how to do that, come and join us inside this community. By clicking the links either above or below the video. Now, inside, I want to give you resources, tips, trainings, and tools to show you step by step what you need to do. Because when I first got started, about 5 years ago, we had launched our first accounting firm, and we were doing everything in person. Right? We were like walking, knocking on doors. We were sending flyers. We were doing all the old school methods, but it was challenging. There was no one really to show us what to do. We would try and reach out to mentors, and they would always say, yeah, I'd love to help you. But whenever you follow up, they're like, oh, I'm busy, or I can't, or sorry, or they'll just ghost you completely. So what I've done is I decided to create this community as a way to give back and just make sure that I can help you out in as much as I possibly can. So if that's you, come on ahead and join us inside the community by clicking the link either above or below the video. We'd love to have you in there and love to see how we can connect with you, see how your voice adds value, and see exactly how we can help you out. So if that's you, come and join it. Click the link below, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.